Thokozani, I am Pobadimu, the advocate of idlozi, and I welcome you to my channel once again. Today I'll be talking about spiritual triggers, something that is very important in our spiritual journeys and something that is able to assist or rather guide you where you fall spiritually so that you know, Uguti, this is what triggers me spiritually or etc. And there's a huge, debate around umuntu osuka anedlozi and umuntu osuka nomoya. These things are the same thing. It's just that it differs in the type of work we do. Where else ubizwa to what, to who, to what, you are being called for. But remember, isipho nesipho sisuka sibuya from bloodline yasegini. It's not like there's a huge cloud, floating, carrying spiritual gift and dropping them on people's head. It's always something that is in your bloodline or isuke sekhaya kini that kunesipho esithizeni. So now it comes from emadlozini wasegini. It's not that idlozi lakho next door can come and drop a gift yakho kini. It's always coming from idlozi lakho. But now what differs is how the manifestation of your gift or other spirit works in your life that makes everything different. So I don't want you to feel confused and say bating no moya and umpoyena unedlozi. We are all in the same boat. It's just that kuhluka ama destination la esiya kuwo. That is what makes all of us different, right? So spiritual triggers are very important to identify with because mankhuluma ngama spiritual triggers kunemehluko between ukuvukwa idlozi and then kunomehluko between summoning idlozi. Those are two different things that we should not confuse. So ngizocala ngokuvuka idlozi. Ukuvuka idlozi can happen literally anywhere and everywhere, right? But what I want you to identify is the triggers around that. You need to know as a gifted person, Uguti, this is what triggers idlozi lami. It might be iskupu, it might be particular church music, it might be impepo, it might be certain ibai, it might be certain feelings that are triggered in your system. And when you feel that feeling, Uguti uzovukela idlozi, you might start feeling cold. Sometimes you feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Sometimes you feel very like you feel disconnected to life. It's like you going, you're leaving this, physical world, Sometimes you might even feel the urge to cry, or sometimes you feel a deep sadness, Sometimes you feel as though there's some anxiety, that expects high, or you do not know what to do. Sometimes you start, because what normally happens is that I start shaking, like my hands, literally, I start shaking. That's when I know anything shayovalo, and from there on, it's ready, fire, set, go, But it differs with person from person. But what hinders your spiritual growth is that anifuni ukuyekela ukudedela idlozi likhuphuke liziveze noma livele because niyasaba, you are scared of the unknown. When you feel those feelings of ngifikelwa ukhala, don't go around and say, oh, ngifikelwa ukhala. Sometimes cry because amadlozi awafiki ngokufana. Abanye abantu amadlozi abafika ngokukhala bathi hey. Then kunabantu afika ngokuthi hey. Then kunamanye afika ngokubhodla. Kunamanye afika ngokuhleka. Kunamanye afika, it's different strokes for different folks. That is why we used to make fun. I remember there was this Christian school I was attending, and there's this friend of mine, so we used to make fun of people because now they were so postoli, my mom's mom. So you just make fun of Abatama Pai esonteni, and do this whole thing that they're doing, But at that time, you do not know what was happening because bamba. But what I think we've been trained is to restrain a person, magazo kushugelwa idlozi. But that is absolutely wrong. I honestly say let the spirit talk, because sometimes abantu that are spiritual, nikuliso, it's because you're not letting idlozi out. Because anytime usuga ufigelwa uloyo moya, or rather that urge to feel whatever you're feeling, idlozi lisuke lifigile, and you just need to let go and release and start feeling what it is idlozi is giving to you, because 80% of the time it is messages to heal, messages to give you, a way forward and all those other things, because ezinye izinto kusuke kuyimfihlo ezibhekane nomndeni wakini noma wena, so sometimes when you feel that thing, you just need to feel that urge of crying, or ukuthi ungahayiza kube nento ezingathi and you just want to do that. I'm honestly am for that. But now, what becomes tricky is that good abantu that are able to hold it in, and there are people that cannot. Whereby uzothola ukuthi uvuka idlozi anywhere and everywhere, right? Once so thwasile, that becomes a little bit better because now you are trained, now you know that makwenzekala so you need to do this, because idlozi literally lingavuka even when you're having sex, if you are not trained, if you don't know how to go about certain things. So now the point is that you need to be able, to understand yourself, understanding your body. It starts with being comfortable in your skin, being comfortable with who you are. Then you will know when you start feeling some type of way, you would say, hell no, somebody's coming, right? Because now it doesn't lingak anywhere and everywhere. Right? But now in the is that people don't understand that, and uvuka idlozi in the middle of anywhere, and they start making a joke about that, and they don't understand. Let me tell you, mtana omnyama or black child, uvuka idlozi, it's a very sacred thing. It's a very special moment. You respect that moment, you honor it, because that is why umuntu makavukela idlozi sonke siyaguqa sithobikhanda, because we kneel down in acknowledgement of the vibrations, the changes in energies, because now we are about to step into the spiritual, and we listen to whatever loyo muntu loyo is saying, be it's your friend, be it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Makufika isimo esinjalo emuntwini loyo, or your mom or your daughter, you don't just say, well, I remember the first time, like, oh gosh, my mom literally, like, my mom, I love you, she left the house and wanted to call the neighbors, but she was like, fuck this, I'm going back, that's my daughter, I'm gonna listen to what you're gonna say, because when we in the idlozi mode, baby girl, all of this is gone. So when umuntu azovuka idlozi, make sure that in the space that they're in, niyasusa anything harmful, be it a table, whatever the case might be, because amadlozi awafani. Amadlozi afika ngokulimaza, like njengamina ngiyalimala 80% of the time mangisedlozini. Amadlozi, afika ngokuthi get dependent, so but you give a person that space, nimbeke phansi, even if ningamlalisa noma nimhlalise phansi, nimbathise ngebhayi uma enalo. That is why it's important mawumuntu onesipho sedlozi to always have ibhayi, wherever you're going, because you never know, especially if you untrained, ukuthi ungakwazi ukuthi uzicoce, especially makufika leso sikhathi leso. Then umuntu onjalo nimbeka ibhayi bese niyaguqa phansi, niyamthokozisa, thokoza. So ukuthokoza lokho akusho nje ukuthi kuphela kwenziwa ezangomeni kuphela. Siyathokoza because kusuke kuyinjabulo. Ukuthokoza means we receive you and we acknowledge you and we see you, Lozi. Oh man, the beauty in that. Niyathokoza gogo, thokoza mkhulu, nilinde ukuthi umuntu loyo uzothini. So now amanye amadlozi awafani, elinye idlozi izoloku likhala, elinye lizoba vocal, elinye lizothukana, elinye lizokhuluma into eningayivisisi, and amanye ayizmumu awakhulumi, it depends nakhona. But you give a person that space. Awubi upendulana or exchange words. For example, if idlozi lithi when usi you don't do that. We as Taba, because no one to loyal, But now what I need you to understand is that it's an out-of-body experience. When idlozi takes over, remember this is the vessel that idlozi is using. I am a PA to my ancestor because yilo elenza all the work, but mina I'm doing the dirty work. Yilo elenza all the work. So that's how it works idlozini. So now for it ukuthi idlozi likwazi ukuthi lifike, it uses your body because it is a spirit, it cannot touch. So what happens is that nisuke ngiba in a trance bese kuvuka idlozi. Uyangiunderstand? Malivuka idlozi bese liyakhuluma, because now I'm having an out of body experience. So it is going to use my mouth, it's going to use my eyes, it's going to use my body, it's going to use my body, because it is oh gosh, I hope I'm speaking to someone here. This is something sacred and deep, and I see people taking it for granted. Let me tell you something. When They will make you someone idlozi, but I'm gonna get to that. Idlozi does not come all the time, right? But then go figure a point whereby now you need they don't make you understand it's not necessarily about bati vusidlozi, but wake your spiritual self up. Because now you need to be in a trance. You need to feel things in a trance. Then you are able to, when you grow, now you don't need to be in a trance anymore. You are able to be in between the physical and the spiritual. Because idlozi can come once in a while. With your whole stay there, it differs, right? So coming back to this whole thing, bese ke uma seqedile asho yena uzozibika bese uyahlehla, abanye abantu they collapse, bayafenta, abanye abantu they do different things. But then umuntu makanjalo masekaqedile imbone ukuthi seka unconscious, niyamlula bese ke niyamvusa, nimphuzisa amanzi, nimlule, everywhere la kunama joints khona, nimdonsela ikhanda, nimlalise, nimpresse la emqolo ukuthi azokwazi mangabe uyabhodla abhodle, because it's a very sacred thing whereby if umuntu animluli angashona nokushona, because now you get stuck in the spiritual realm. So for us to bring you back, we need to do something like, hello, can you hear us? Mpo, testing, are you back? Mpo, is it you? You need to do that, So it's one of those things. So it's not something mele we balegele. And should something like that happen around you, you are blessed, because not everyone gets to experience that. But now as umntwana wedlozi, you need to know that there are certain things that you cannot do, because zizochigala idlozi. Because eventually you're gonna be intoxicated and what your body does, it lets go, and now you are trapped in between the physical and the spiritual, and automatically lose of idlozi. That's to a certain extent, very embarrassing sometimes. That is why I'm saying, when you're gifted, you treat yourself in a certain way, because you know that you're different. There are certain things that you do. Even you might take lightly lento yokubiga ukuthi ngiyahamba. It's important, because uzovuka idlozi basaglisi strawberry, uzovuka idlozi usaye on a boat cruise. It's important to notify amadlozi akho, because now bona anytime akunaskhathi when it comes to spiritual things, right? Because this video is so juicy, it needs another part, but ngizobona ukuthi today's laphi so that we can keep it moving, right? So I told you, I'm taking you to the beginnings of spirituality so that you understand your way up ngezinto ezedlozi. So now amadlozi awafani, like I said, and azovela in many different ways, right? But nakhona you need to know that kunezinye izinto ezideep. Anyeke uzovuka idlozi usemgruveni or uvuke, because ezinye izinto ezikhulunywa amadlozi, it's very deep things. And sometimes idlozi lizovuka because lidinekile, awulimamelanga, uphumile endlini, and you saw the signs that you're not supposed to go, but when they eventually decided to leave, but it happens, yay, and all of that, right? And then so coming to ukuvusa idlozi, you summon the ancestors, right? Usuke ukhwaza idlozi, right? So mostly that happens kakhulu ebungomeni, because usuke ulikhwaza idlozi, uyalibiza, actually azela lona, but angisho ebungomeni bazokwenza ukuthi lokhu ulikhwaza, but it doesn't come all the time, man, I tell you, right? So you are being trained basically to be able to connect with yourself anytime, because why they're doing that is because makufika umuntu la athi uzohlola, automatically you are connecting. So that's what training basically they are doing. They're teaching you to be able to connect at any time, however, wherever you need to be able to connect, So now it becomes a problem when it's not explained and you're being told ukuthi vusidlozi, because I've seen instances, we've all been there. Most especially once you know the ins and outs, but if vusidlozi, you start acting because aliko, and your kobela will swear it to you, blah blah blah, not understanding naye, I think, man, it's important for us to unlearn certain things and to understand things better, so that singazo inflict some form of abuse on our our spiritual kids, etc. So it's just clear as day ukuthi mawuyotasa. What I want you to understand is that mawuyotasa, I hear people say, hey, those or all of that. That is bullshit. Let me tell you this. Mawuyothasa kusuke idlozi lakho likuthatha likuhambisa ukuthi uyokhula esikoleni. Umzali wakho usuka akuhambisa ukufaka esikoleni ukuthi uya grade 1 up until they see you through until the end, until uqualify ukwazi manje ukuthi usebenze. It's not that idlozi lakho liyongena ephehlweni. Idlozi anyeke likhethe gogo kungukuthi liyisidom alazi next liyofuna ukuthwasisa umpho lona alazi next. Idlozi lizokuthatha likuse kumpho because lifuna umpho ayomqeqeshela lona. It's like amadlozi aya connect before we connect. Lizokuyisa lapho kumpho selikhulumile nabakampho ukuthi nangu umntwana simlethayo sicela umpho asikhulisele because nina umntanenu sekayidlile impande sekakhulile angisho, and they are able ukuthi to facilitate the progress. Akhulise lo ongezwa umadlebe lona wethu, you know, then that's what happening. Bese uyakhula edlozini and you become named uthola igama lakho ledlozi, be it you being named after idlozi lakho or you get idlozi igama elisha. It depends nakhona ngamadlozi because kwamanye amadlozi they normally keep the name going due to, you know, certain things. You find ukuthi it's like Martin Luther Jr., Martin Luther the Third, it's always that thing. And then kwamanye amadlozi it's different names, 16 at different times. So it's always that case. So you hear someone and saying, yeah, what's it? No, you cannot talk to people's ancestors like that. You cannot tell idlozi lomuntu guti in. You can tell someone guti yes vusidlozi because I need you in your spirit being. I need you in your spirit form. Not guti bizumkhulu wako. Do you think mina, I mean, come on now. Umkhulu kungambiza ukuthi aze lana so that wena uzoqhubeka ukuthi izolo udla ijam or ukuthi uzoqhubeka ukugobela lakho ukuthi izolo benogroove. Umkhulu kuthi yebo kakhulu usayifikile njalo. You should know because idlozi are trained ukuthi lisho zonke lezi zinto lezi. Umuntu osuka asho lezi zinto lezi ulo osekathwasile lo ofundiswa zonke lezi zinto lezi ukuthi makafika go cool uye loyo osuka osilapho. You are in spirit, you are having an out of body experience because what, you're a spiritual being. But anye kumkhulu akafika go cool umntana lo. No man, people should start being actors and actresses and understand ukuthi kunomuntu onedlozi bese kunedlozi. You know, those are two different things. Makufika idlozi lomuntu, come on good people, you feel it. Uyayifila, like now uyafila ukuthi yabo manje sekufika bokapati yake manje sikhathi sikho, and you just feel because everything, it's like time stands still. Oh, beautiful people, I wish we understand ukuthi idlozi. Hey, my God, my father, my God, oh, idlozi into enhle, into powerful, into enamandla, and asiyinto yanoma ubani nobani. That is why kunabantu bayothwasa namhla babafundise ukuthi babe sedloneni entshela nizotshela manga nizosihlona isitshoko ukuthi masilala siphasa inhloko vele ngiphasa inhloko ngoba ilanga yonke bengifaka iwiki vele. But I mean, ezinye izinto we need to like, you know, our African ways are so beautiful. Mesingazimoshi guys, amadlozi asipha ithuba futhi ukuthi sizilungise thina siqalele phansi ekuqaleni, right? So it's one of those things that you need to understand ukuthi even now when you ugobela, you are receiving a child. Uwazi ukuthi amadlozi aloyo muntu loyo asuke akutrusta ngaloyo mntwana loyo. Not ukuthi uzothwasisa unkomo yahlaba. Honey, unkomo yahlaba waliphuza waliphalaza twice. Kanje. And then manje walanda leslelesi. What must hambe siyothwasa? You understand? Intenjalo. So now there's a difference between you being in a trance and you ukuthi sedlozini, because when you're in a trance there is when ukwazi kusho la mara station lawo wasemaphehlweni ukuthi wena uzala obani, oh baba baba isemgodoyi, baba isazibani bani. You are able to do all those things. But once ekufika idlozi can come. Idlozi lakho alikhulumi njengawe. Idlozi lakho it doesn't act like you. Idlozi lakho, you know, will speak different ways. Idlozi lakho oh guys, hey, man, things are deep out here. So it's one of those things that we need to understand that go on in the spiritual, you know, space. But I think it's topics that as much as idlozi will allow me the time and give me that platform, because I feel it's one of those things as izoba, you know, contradicted. And for a long time people will be like, but idlozi lami is not showing me anywhere, and in kombi anyway idlozi lami. It's because of trust issues. It was like when trust issues, darling, and there's nothing wrong. These days, amanga, it was like it does not want you go to hambo uyofunda amanga or uyofunda ubuthakathi. Likuthatha esikolweni lokufaka nje esikoleni samanga. Izosalifundi lento leyo. That is why amadlozi literally take their time. So it's important to be patient, because in the meantime, makwenzakala zonke lezi zinto lezi, as a spiritual person, you need to be able to uzame maneuver around the spiritual things. Uyathandaza every now and then, you do certain things, because nezipho zethu azifani, and how we grow is akfani. That is why sometimes, even if you're feeling lost, at least get someone that is gonna mentor you. So awuhambi nje ovuka idlozi noma kuphi noma ubani when ungena endumeni. No, you don't do that. Fihla into zakho. Like to hide your things, because abantu basibonele ngale sebabone, because like it deep lento lena, it deep kakhulu. That's why ngisho ngithi I know abanye abantu will watch this and be like, what the hell, or some other people will be like, oh, but I don't care. I'm here for the truth, honey boo boo. I'm here for the truth. That is why she is advocate. She is the advocate that she thinks she is, because there is truth, amongst all of these things that are happening, So I don't want you to feel lies, because that is why even it goes to an extent whereby you'd find the emigidini, someone coming to hey, booty, hey, sissy. Ngazo test up sangoma bakho lana nomkenke. Don't you dare. There's a difference between thing is now everything is out there. Amanga agcwele, guys, but you need to identify uzazi as a person ukuthi umeguphi. But if nisesekhona ninensalandela amadlozini enisawathobela, good for you. I can think ngisaba njengokuvuka idlozi mina, because that thing it cripples me. It messes up my week. It's just something else. Nyasaba, nyasaba. Honestly, nyasaba, because I know good it's a deep thing, I understand that, but when it happens. So no good ekaya, if there's no that support system, and maybe you're watching this to university, or it's important to speak. Tell people around you. These days, like, isn't those spirituality accessing testing I feel. Just tell people around you, because I'm gifted. So ninga mind some days when I'm feeling like this. Sometimes not necessarily good, you wanna ukhusulwa something or whatever the case might be, but maybe mawukhalile or wabodwa wasusa lento esifubeni sakho, you're gonna end up feeling better, because now what happens is that you lessen the mood swings, you lessen the depression, because you are releasing. You're a spiritual person, so anytime all these things come, there's an overload of energies in your system, and you need to release, and the only way is need to release is that guti ubodle, right? So even when it comes to ukwaza idlozi, I think I touched on this in a video I did. It's always about energies. Everything is energy. You are aligning your energies, baby girl. Ugabiza idlozi lakho ukuthi nabo gogo ngicela ningisizeni. You understand? Ngisizeni. I even did a video, I think on my Instagram. I was making a joke about imfihlo ephihlweni. There's nothing so stressful about like that ephihlweni ebathi imfihlo. Like bakufihlele nechapis, bakufihlele nepaint lomntwana. Like I don't understand. Like bakufihlele nje because they can omunye nje ubone nedread eligugile dala wathwasa, and just because they can afika zokufihlela yena ukuthi izolobe kadle ini. Hayi shemna abuzana nina zangoma ezinkulu. But anyway, so it's one of those things that will just train you. There is part of everything, but it's just that I am here to break down izinto, the spirituality, into a more, level that you can understand it, and understand why do we do certain things, and why do we go through certain things? Why do they have to hide all these things? Even though it's annoying, I hated that part. Oh, I'll never forget her. Oh, sangoma lezi. Ngosifihlele isinkwa. Angeke mina shema sifihlele isinkwa. Sifihlele isinkwa sibe ngaphansi kwebhayi la kuye. Mina shema ngabona lapho ngathi hayi mangale kunje ukuthasa ukuthasisa vele ngisafundi vele ngabuye kuthathe ngatshana amadlozi ngathi mangabe khona othi kushoda ini umkirimano or umzarama or ini ngizozihambela nina angeke mina ngiyofihlele of brown cause mina but it gets stressful like that. So it's one of those things that are there. So this is just a part 1 video of what I've been dissecting. So do leave your comments down below, and do subscribe and like my video, and etc, and I will be back very very soon with a part 2 of this video. Angifuna ukuyitsi kakhulu yabo. Seeds yabona ama starter man. Yabona ukudla okungayindawo sikuthi and sizobuya futhi. But thank you so much guys for your support and everything else in between. I appreciate each and every one of you. But for me, Umphavadimu, the advocate of idlozi, like, oh my idlozi, I'm signing out. See you later.